they'll be calling me royalty.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to our Tier-1 coverage of the IRC Season 11. We're in the Middle East again at Qatar, this time for round 6. And with me in the commentary box is our dear and beloved Tanish. Hey, Tanish.
Hey couple, how you doing?
All good, sir. So what do you think about our lineup for today? You think it's going to be an exciting one?
Yep, I am really expecting some great excitement today since I have seen drivers do a lot of practice and the suffering that track has given to them. So, yep, I'm really excited for the race today.
Indeed, we are just about ready to get underway. It's a sprint weekend here at IRC for both Tier 1 and Tier 2. Before we get into that, let's have a look at what Qatar has to offer. So let's have a look at the track guide, shall we? So the track is a 5.3 kilometer, 16 turn corner, very high speed throughout the lap, very little braking, and for that matter, you can expect a lot of close battles, but very little overtaking. You only have one DRS zone, that is in the start-finish straight, and just heaps and heaps of hard braking in the beginning of last, but then a lot of minimum speed carried throughout the entire circuit, and the Losail International Circuit is one of the faster ones on the track. Very low degradation, sorry, very high degradation. So we've got one of the harder compounds of tires available here for this weekend. That being said, let's jump back and see what the standings has to offer. We are currently 5 rounds into the competition, so we will know very soon who's up there and who's not. The boys are just about getting ready to get into the action, so I'm going to switch very soon to the one shot qualifying that is going to be presented to us very soon. So as Tanish, why don't you walk us through what a typical sprint weekend looks like?
Yeah, if I were to tell about the sprint weekend that we are having in IRC, so just to confirm, the format follows like the first session would be a one-shot qualifying, which will give drivers one chance around the track to set the best lap time they can and get the best possible grid spot for the race. After that, we'll jump on to our sprint race, which is of 10 laps, and I would say drivers would be having a mix of tire choices for that. Like people can be on softs as well as on mediums because of the fact that there's not a lot of tire deck difference between both the compounds, and it's like 3-4%. And since the 70% of the track is on full throttle, there is not much time that you'll lose. And in the end, we'll obviously jump to our main race, which is of 29 laps, which will have a lot of mix of strategies. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and we are just about underway for the one-shot quali. Let's take it away. Let's see who's on top. You got Aradhya, a hot favorite in terms of the time trial. Akash Sonovani, a veteran time trial version, so to speak. But the likes of the Mercedes are also all in it. So let's jump in. SimplyYT here. In the beginning stages, taking these corners very nice and steady. You've got a lot of shuffling through the field. I hope nobody is already DNF, because you're gonna have to be carrying all of that speed, and overtaking on this corner is simply that's a little on the tougher end of the spectrum when it comes to all of the tracks on the calendar here. But so far so steady. We've got Aradhya Gupta holding steady on his hot lap. Akash Sonovani, and no more pro player, having some fantastic middle sector pace here with I'm assuming is a lot of high downforce on his setup, really making it a force to be reckoned with in the middle sector. Going in to the sweeping right-handers here, all flat out. You look at that Ferrari scream as it goes on to the final few set of corners. Aradhya still on the front foot here with just one right-hander 90-degree to go. Takes it nice and steady. Looking fantastic there. The McLaren's in P3 and 5, and Moto getting a fantastic exit all the way. Will he get P1? No, he does not. 210 separate him and the pole sitter Aradhya Gupta. Akash Sonovani just losing out on that final corner there, but wow, that's a packed grid there with very, very close competition through and through, isn't it, Tanush?
Yep, it looks like the last sector has eaten a lot of drivers here, because in the first sector it was a pretty close feed, like the grid literally jumping between the drivers, who will be on top, who will be not. And later on the gap was a bit more. I was expecting like 2-3 people to be within a tenth, like the track time was so close. But I don't know how it is, so still a bit too high. Let's see how it goes in the race. I mean, I'm a bit shocked with the qualifying times.
Yeah, I mean, still a lap from Aradhya though. He's just showing his dominance, but he has to follow through in the race as well. So we've got 2 races coming away, 5 disqualifications. So the likes of Govind all the way down to Catty will have to start on the back of the grid. So not ideal stuff for them. But yeah, a great start for our pole sitter Aradhya on in the Ferrari. He just recently got his seat, so it's looking good for him.
Yep. And as we know, it's all about the race where it matters, because it's the race that offers you points in the championship. So again, if we put qualifying aside, then it comes down to the race, and I feel like drivers should not really, I would not really try to jump from the start itself, because seeing the pace around this track, there is not much high difference between the drivers, and it's really difficult to pull out of the DRS from the driver behind. So again, no matter how hard you push, how much ERS you use, even if the driver behind is not using his battery or not pushing too hard, he can still stick with you because of all that slipstream effect, that long straight that offers you some good helping to keep that gap down to 1 second maybe. So yeah, I am really expecting that drivers would not really push too much at the start and would just try to keep their position before they start to attack the driver in front.
Yeah, that is definitely, yeah, you said it quite right there in that regard. We want to be able to keep close to the car ahead as a driver, but then just the trajectory of the track being so high speed, not necessarily going to give you an easy chance of not only keeping behind but also making a move. It's only got 1 or 2 hard braking zones, and then you kind of have to do with that to make your moves. But yeah, we've got 5 lights. Tanish, why don't you take it away with the start?
Yep, 5 lights and we are waiting for the race start as the 5 lights are out and away we go. I think everyone got a similar start this year. Alfa Romeo falling back and Moto already challenging Aradhya for the T1 spot till the first corner. Who will come out on top here, and Moto gets the move done. It's getting a bit aji-baji there. Will Aradhya take back his spot? No, he's not able to give enough respect. But Moto keeps that place. A good overtaking move from Moto. Good battle. Akash Sonovani P3 destroy track, gains position, moves to P4. And I see Ritesh falling down a lot. I don't know what happened to him, but destroy track really got a good start there. And
Yeah,
as we see,
chaotic
yep,
start and Helium really falling down in the clutches, but most of the field has come out of it alive. Moto with that stellar start, he is the one on the charge right now, moving up into P1 in a matter of moments. So it's looking good for him. It's really looking good for him right now. But Aradhya is so close to him, and really not giving up that position. He is not going to simply sit back and just let him have that position. He's already on that charge. You can just see they're inches apart going into it. Will he make a dive in lap 1 itself to kind of showcase that dominance that he wants on this track and not let him get away? Because there is literally no breathing space right there at the end of lap 1. It is exactly what you love to see in the sprint. You're going to go down the outside right now. Side by side action at the end of turn 1. Aradhya Gupta is looking to make a move round the outside. Will he able to be sticking it? No, it looks like they're still side by side. No one is giving way. Moto finally said, fine, have it your way this time. But I'm going to be sticking around because and not letting you get away with it. Having said that, Aradhya Gupta with that attacking move at the end of lap 1, I'm not sure how much of an ERS burst he's done to get that position back. But yeah, kudos to him to get that P1 back.
yeah, I mean, both of Moto and Aradhya were not ready to give their P1 spot to the different driver. Both of them wanted to show their dominance on track and wanted to stay ahead. But yeah, as the race will proceed, everyone will just try to stick back, get into that rhythm before they start to attack. Not a lot of time, but still, they'll need a few laps to adjust. And right now, as we see, Akash Sonavane makes a move on Moto. I don't know what happened to him there. He was pretty close to Aradhya, as Aradhya already has a second gap on Akash Sonavane. Not sure what really happened, but yeah, Moto moves down to P3 as we see King James only 3 tenths behind him. I don't know if he'll look to attack Moto at this point, and as we see Dark Knight trying to make a move on Lean Sepa and gets it done at the final corner. But will he be able to keep that move? I don't know, because the straight is pretty long and that ERS dump is really gonna help Lean Sepa to get that position back. I don't know what's happening. Both the Haas is attacking on Dark Knight to get that spot. As we see Haas battle, Mohan makes a move on Lean Sipper. And I think Lean Sipper should allow Mohan to get past and see if he can overtake Dark Knight being on the faster tire right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All elbows out right now. Two teammates, both Mercedes and Haas boys, fighting it out on track. And you've got a gaggle of cars all lined and stern at this point in time. Just what you love to see. Close racing throughout the field right now. But yeah, Moto dropping back a position. I mean, he's slowly getting into the clutches. Let's see if he falls behind to King James, who is on that soft tire. So we do have to look out for him in the next lap or so. But as time goes on, Moto will definitely have an answer to that soft tire. But at this point in time, it looks to be in a good position. Maybe it's just a small mistake that has lost him 2 positions at the end of lap 1. We'll have to wait and see how that kind of pans out. But now Red in that leading Merc is going to also steal a position from the second Haas, and so does Govin. Govin is also looking to be opportunistic as he tries to go, and there's another car of Catty. This going 3 wide into turn 1. Who's going to back out of it? It is Govin in this point in time. Oh boy, this is close racing throughout. And this is exactly what we love to see here. Archit and Faizan having a bit of a moment in the second lap. Fell down the field, but now slowly making his way back up into P14 at this point in time.
Yep, at this point it's literally difficult, and I think Dark Knight is trying to make a move on Mohan, but that outside line is not really helping him. But yeah, I think the field is so close that it's not even that easy to commentate on these guys. Literally, like, everyone is running so close, and everywhere there's a possibility of an overtake at this point. As we see Sandeep Maridu, who is running behind Lean Sipper, with Lean Sipper trying to attack Govind and gain back his spot that he lost on the main straight. Right now, not a lot of drivers have used their ERS, as I can see on their steering wheel. So yep, everyone looks like conserving the battery at this point. But yeah, One thing to point out is the fact that earlier we were talking about that it's very difficult to create that 1 second gap on the driver behind, and Aradhya is just trying to say that, okay, let's make it like a reversing, then I'll keep that 1 second gap with the driver behind and will not push more, will not push less, and we'll keep running with that gap so that not the commentators are right, not the drivers are right, some kind of situation.
Yeah, he's definitely controlling the pace there. Archit is retiring in the pits for the sprint race. I hope he sticks around for the main one, but that's unfortunate to have a first retirement of the day. Govind is one person that I've noticed who's already very, very low. Is looking at the move down the inside of Lean Sipper right there in the middle of the track. An unusual position there, but he's using his soft tires, goes down the inside and then some. Lean Sipper being caught out with that dive has kind of made a botch of the switchback there and has, as a result, lost a couple of positions. Faizan slowly and steadily moving up the field. He did lose a position to Extreme, so Extreme finally having a slew of disconnections in the beginning of the race has come back and looked to be strong at this point in time. But yeah, a lot of movements up and down the field for the sprint race so far.
Yep, and I would say the biggest losers or maybe people with unfortunate luck in the sprint race are no more Pro Player and Helium. Again, these guys had a lot of pace and they could have been up the field in sprint and created a good chance for themselves in the main race. But yeah, I don't know what happened to these guys. Pretty unfortunate race, and as we see, Red trying to make a move on 2 cars at this point. Will he get it done? And he gets it done. Oh my god, what a move that was. Amazing move there by Red on both the cars. I think it was one of the Williams as well as Haas, I think. Yeah, it was one of the Haases. And Dark Knight trying to stick with Red to see if he can get that place back. Some amazing battle going on track at this point of stage.
Yeah, he had to use a lot of ERS to get that move done, and you can see Dark Knight, with his he's just concerned. He's biding his time. He's still got a couple of laps to go, and this train of 4 cars right now look to be in a position where one small slip up and you can potentially lose a lot of positions. So Catty right now with that disqualification in his one-shot quali is having to make all those moves right now, because I think he is the biggest gainer. No, apart from Red, they are the major gainers at this point in time. And Catty's taking no prisoners as he dives down the inside of the final corner of lap 6 to go into P9. And yeah, let's see if those tires will reap the advantage, because at this point in time we've got Satvik ready, who's replacing SSG Assassin here, who is in the lead Aston Martin for the weekend. And he just kept his nose clean all race long and in a good position. Let's see if he can make any inroads on on King James, whose soft tires right now will slowly but surely start to degrade, and he will definitely be feeling the effects in the last 3 laps as the closing back of Red, Darky and Catty all slowly bring down that gap down with 3.5 laps to go.
Definitely, and one of the interesting touches to the race is the fact that Moto has closed down the gap to less than half a second, and Aradhya has a 3-second penalty. I don't know where he got it, but okay. Lean Sipper at this point is trying to make a move on the other Ferrari, which is on P15, which is driven by Ritesh, and was not able to get the move done. But I think he should just stick back slightly more, wait for the straight and get a much easier move, as we see Moto making a move on Aradhya, gets it done before the end of the race. And I think will Akash Sonawane go for the move on Aradhya at this point? A bit far behind. Yep, was not able to get the move done, and Moto gets the move done on Aradhya. So yep, like I said, it's better to stick behind, keep that battery charged, and then charge for that P1 spot.
Oh, definitely. He pounced at the right point in time. Now with only 2 laps to go, Moto has that ERS. He's saved up, and Now he's just in a position to run away. I think he's played a strategic masterpiece, letting Aradhya get that P1. He made his intention clear in the beginning to take the lead, but then didn't want to unnecessarily keep the lead for the beginning stint of the race. And now he's in a fantastic position to kind of remain in P1. Yes, Aradhya with that 3 second is going to be dropping like a stone. But keeping, still finishing first on track is always what you want to do as a driver, and Modo has done that very well and very close to perfection, I'm about to say. But his teammate SimplyYT not having the best of luck. He's all the way down in P14 right now. So we'll have to wait and see whether the main race is where he can find his wits about him and try to gain some positions back. But yeah, Catty still having a lovely drive, maintaining his ERS very well. You've got Red, who's just at the forefront, flashing. Taki sends one down the inside into T1. Red getting a little out of shape there with that tap, but still no foul play there. All still keeping their wits about them. Catty just biding his time, making no moves at this point in time. He's just biding his time to see when is the right time to pounce, and it might be very, very soon. Having said that, these three have now caught up to Satvik Reddy, who is also flashing. So you've got one more car joining in the battle here. So we'll have to see how this one ends up. But as of right now, Red trying with all his might, deploying his ERS and then some to keep that P7, and I think he's doing a mighty fine job. But will it be able to fend off the very fast and stealthy looking Catty at the end of this train? We'll have to wait and watch. But we've just got about 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Akash Sonawani in P3, Aradhya Gupta with that 3-second penalty, still very, very close to Moto, who is leading the charge in the final lap of this sprint race. And oh boy, we'll have to wait and watch who comes out victorious, because Aradhya Gupta has turned up the wick to 11. He's so close. Both of them are flashing right now. Both of them are deploying at every chance that they get to stick as close as possible. But we'll have to see if this is enough or not. Further behind, you've got Satvik Reddy now. Is completely getting his diffuser almost blown up by the Mercedes of Red. Will he be able to stick it? And will Catty actually get a move? He's thinking about it down the inside. There's no position there. There's no place. But Daki giving just enough room. And just somehow they've been able to not crash out in this very high and technical section. Red using every inch of the track, not able to make any inroads, and at the same point in time Aradhya as well not able to bring down that gap. And as it looks and as it stands, first blood does go to Moto for the sprint race here at Qatar. Aradhya Gupta right behind him, and Akash Sonawani in P3. Wow.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, that was some next level racing. The racing is still going on till the finish line, so we can see how close the field is. But at the same point, I don't know if I should really appreciate the racing at this point or the commentary that you were doing some past couple of laps. Like, you couldn't catch a breath there. The racing was so exciting. You were so excited to commentate on that. It was such an amazing thing to look for. That was some amazing stuff out there, whether in terms of commentary, whether in terms of racing. That was some extraordinary thing, I would say.
Well, it's good to be back, Tanish. It's good to be back. And with the star-studded lineup that we have, we want to make sure that everybody gets the spotlight. We've got Red, who was so close, Daki, who was so close, and Catty with less than 100th separating them at the end of the sprint race. What more can you ask for? And this is just first race of 2. You've got 29 more laps of this to come. And I don't know about you, but I am so pumped and so ready for the action-packed race that we're gonna have.
Definitely. I mean, you can see how a lot of drivers have upped their game for this race to show that no matter how hard the track is, they can really show how good they are if they are in tier 1. So, yeah, that was some amazing racing out there. With Moto taking the win in the sprint race, let's see how it goes in the main race with Aradhya. Will Aradhya put a fight to Moto to get that P1 spot back or get that redemption for the sprint race? Or will it be some different driver who will cross the finish line first? We'll find out very soon. And right now, we see timer running out as we'll be soon jumping into the main race with top 3. For the sprint race, we have Moto, Akash and Destroyer Drak. So a lot of drivers have a good chance to finish on the top in the main race. Kapil, again, it doesn't really matter, but do you have any predictions for the winner? Only the winner at this point.
I always like to go for the underdog, and I'm not sure if we gave any attention, but my boy Drak did finish in P3 in the sprint race, very stealthily, keeping out of trouble the entire time, but took advantage of that 3 seconds. So he's going to be starting in P3 right behind Moto. And I think he's just got something up his sleeve to cause an upset here for Tier 1. So my prediction goes to him.
Definitely. If you ask me, then again, there are a lot of drivers who deserve to win here, but again, it's a very it's a prediction where a lot of people might not agree, I would say, but they would not think I would do that. But I still think Propi might win the racing, the amount of effort he put for the practice, and if there is some incident, if he keeps it clean, he might jump back from behind the grid to some of the top drivers and might even have a chance to win. So who knows? Again, a bold prediction, but I would really love to see that happen.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, it's not going for him that it's a tough track to overtake him, and but you know, you never say never. Him, Helium, from the back of the grid, will have to put in a different level, an esports like effort to come from the back of the grid, and who knows, they just very well might have it in them to bring it out. So it's
Ye-
just gonna be underway in a moment's time. I had a sip of water to calm my nerves because it was just just great to be back here in the commentary box. Tanish, take it away for the next start.
Definitely, as we see 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are waiting for the lights out. As we see lights out, and away we go again. Moto getting a slightly better start compared to driver in P2, and Destroyer Drax trying to get that P1 spot. Will he be able to get that spot at the first corner? Let's see. Running a bit behind Akash Sonawane as we see Aradhya. Akash Sonawane gets a move done on Destroyer Drac and he moves to P2 with Moto giving that P1 with him. And Destroyer Drac not leaving that spot and still going for the battle through turn 3 and 4, I think. And I think
It's
that's
just
a very close battle.
yeah, it looks to be a ding dong of positions. You've got the timing charts going berserk right now, and Aradhya Gupta is really wanting to get into this action, but there's only space. I don't know how they're doing it, but there's only space for 2 cars right now. Moto has kind of thanked them for their lovely activity and had a lovely start of and a healthy gap of 1.2 seconds in the beginning of the race. You've got him and Akash Sonawane on the softs while Drac on those mediums, so they will have the initial getaway, and yeah, we'll have to see how that kind of pans out with the Grand Prix progressing. But him as well as Aradhya Gupta, who are on the hard tires right now, we got the high degradation on this track, so you might even see drivers go for a 2 stop here in the Grand Prix. But all to play for here right now. We've got around 8 cars on softs and the rest on mediums and hards, so a slew of opportunities with now the Haas boys again back at it with the overtaking action going into lap 2. Yeah, exciting stuff, exciting stuff. Who are the big movers right now? Tanish on the field.
Yep, I think South is already making that one move, but very crucial move for taking that P5 spot. But right now we can see Lean Zipper with 3 moves and Helium as well going for the 3 moves along with no more pro pairs. So I think they have heard us and trying to, jump through that field and trying to get into the top 5 at least for now. And as we see SimplyYT, who has lost on 2 positions, again not going very well from him from the start itself. but I hope he comes back to it. And as we see, Archit, who retired in sprint race, has already spun at turn 6, and again, it's not going very good for him with Ritesh making a move back on him and gaining that P19 spot from this guy. So yeah, a pretty unfortunate event, but again, a long race, a lot of things to happen, whether it's strategies, whether it's safety cars, whether it's tire choices, anything can happen at this point. So I'm really looking forward to see, really expecting a late safety car, but again, it's just the start, so let's see what happens now.
Yep. Well, the biggest mover so far has been Faizan in that Red Bull. He's made 7 positions and he's moved up all the way up into P8. Looking quite feisty out there. I want to see which tire is he on, as he used the soft tires to perfection to make that take that advantage. But having said that, P8 is a fantastic place to be. Oh
yeah. As we see right now, Lean Sipper and Mohan in a battle of their own. There is a harsh battle from the sprint itself. So looks like they're pretty close, similar in pace, and that justifies the fact that the teams were made up because of the similar pace thing between the drivers. So yeah, and pretty much close field with Moto already a 2-second gap on Akash Sonawane. Couple, what do you want to say about that?
I mean, he is sending it right now. He knows those soft tires are really good for maybe 6 to 8 laps, and he wants to make sure that he gets the maximum out of each corner. And he is not sticking, but he's basically doing quali laps at this point in time. Oh, we've got a VSC, and that is a collision between Sandeep Maridu and Extreme. No front wing for Sandeep Maridu, and Extreme, I believe, has some kind of damage. So as a result, VSC has come out. Do you think anyone will take this as an opportunity? I think it's fantastic positioning that everyone will have a chance to go into the pits. Would you, as a soft runner, pit right now?
I think I would not pit as I would, no matter what tire I'm on right now. I won't pit on this lap because, again, like I said at the start, the tire difference or the tire deck difference in all the tire compounds is very, very minimal. So you really want to extend that stint so that you can even do a race in 2-stopper, because the tire deck is high, but the difference is very less. Oh, as you see, the drivers are pretty fast there. The virtual safety car. As you see, it ended at the right point for Helium. What an opportunistic move from this guy.
Outstanding stuff. He was ready there, Verstappen style, to make it, and the folks in front just got caught up on each other. No more pro player getting a drive through as a result of speeding there. He did not get that timing right at all. So his race is going to be down in the ditches as a result of it. But Helium getting it spot on, making a move right at the green flag, and he's eyeing the second Haas right now, getting so close to his diffuser he can smell the exhaust fumes coming out of it. That is the confidence he has in that Williams on those medium tires. Very strategically got very high amount of ERS, just thinking about the right point in the track to make a clinical, decisive move. But at this point in time, moves up into P12 and having a great first set of laps is Helium. So don't count him out from that top spot just yet. He is on his charge.
Yep, and looking at the track map, that midfield is looking way too close and packed. It's like anyone can gain any spot. This is a point, if you get a penalty here, you are gone for 2-3 positions at least. And as we see, Simply making a move down at the first corner, with Lean Simmer trying to get that back, but outside line I don't think it will be easy to hold up, and Simply trying to block him slightly. A good move from both of them, clean racing, with Simply keeping up the P13 spot there. So yeah, again, it's only 5 laps at this point. There's so much things happening on the track, the battles happening, Moto creating that 2-second gap with both the Williams so close out there with P9 and P11, and both of them trying to attack the driver in front. So I would say if both of them keep it clean, there can be a big point for this team today.
Indeed. Archit, however, is not keeping it sane, so to keep in the hot weather here in Qatar, losing his marbles going onto the track. He's already done that a couple of times on his Grand Prix and lost his front wing for the second time in this weekend. So unfortunate outlook for him. That extreme makes things tougher. But yeah, Williams looking in prime spot. Satvik ready in that Asna along with Katy are also in the same pack. So we've got a lot of heat going on. Destroy Drac now, thinking of making a move. Goes up into P2 just at the end of turn 1. But Arandi Akasonowani uh, not just accepting this sneak attack from Destroy Drac and just simply saying no, I am not giving it up. And yeah, this battle rages on with Aradhya Gupta just holding it steady, just keeping his wits about him on those hard tires. His time will definitely come. But yeah, 5 laps into the Grand Prix, this is when I believe the medium tires will slowly start to have that advantage over the soft tires. So you might see a lot more moves from the likes of Helium or even Drac to really push it up against the rest of the folks here.
Yep, definitely, and I think this attacking or this pace difference would be a bit more visible in, I would say, a lap or two. And as we see, Catty going a bit aggressive, they're pushing Helium off track. Not very clean, but again, the nature of the track can't really help with it. But yeah, thankfully, no one came out worse in that.
Well, Helium simply not accepting that no track will be left to him. He has forced his way off, but still tried to keep it alongside Catty. Not able to make it move, and he got a 3 second, which probably will be removed. A safety car.
Oh
Safety car for Mohan, who spun out at the last corner or had a collision. We do not know exactly, but he's lost his front wing. He's donated it to the nation of Qatar to have it their way. And yeah, safety car. Now what do you do, Tanish? Now with it's a decent pit window for the softs. But yeah, what do you think is the right move if you're a soft, medium, or hard owner?
Again, the same thing. No matter what tire you are on, if you are deciding to pit at this point, you can pit at this point, but in that case, you are committing to a 2-stop strategy. So you will have to pit at somewhere around lap 20 or 21, no matter safety car or not. So if not pitting at this point, then you'll driver on any compound will be pitting by lap 13 or by lap 14. So again, it's literally that halfway stage of pitting. So it will be a very interesting strategy to see who will pit, but definitely a possibility to pit at this point. For me personally, I would try to continue.
Interesting. It's interesting you say that because the top boys of tier 2, there was no safety car there, and most of them committed to a 2-stop strategy, and done the likes of it. The entire pack, mind you, Tanish, nobody's listening to you. They're all going into the pits. 13 cars, line and turn into the pits, and they've got some battling going on with Simply making a move on Helium. Will it stick? We'll have to see. That's a cheeky move, and there's Simply my boy, who is up into P10. We'll have to see because of if anyone's held or not. But the softs come off, the mediums come off, the hards come off. A lot of glitching on the track. But one guy is sticking out. No More Pro Player has heard your claim, Mr. Tanish, and he's moved up into P10. He's voting in a couple of cars there in the fray of things with that early incident that he's had. So no, wait, he's not pitted at all. My bad. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see.
One guy at this point on track who has not pitted.
Yep. We'll have to see. I mean, he is known for his strategies. He is known for being cool, calm, and collected, and calculated more than anything else. So pro player may have some numbers running on his mind, which is telling him that it's okay to stay out. So we'll have to see if that gamble pays out or not. But yeah, from the looks of it, most of the grid looking to commit to a 2-stop strategy.
I think I understand the reason for Pro P not bidding, because again, the drivers on the top with the gap they have, and the expectation that the drivers behind might be pitting because of the interesting strategies. So there's not a lot of things to lose there with like we can already see on the leaderboard that almost every one of them pitted and they are on that same spot. But with Propi, it was like he was running so far behind because of that initial incident and that DT. So he wanted to gain that positions on the track so that he doesn't get held up in the traffic. And at this point he can just try to extend that stint and maybe try to put it somewhere around lap 14 and then decide to go for the medium tires. And again, if there is a late safety car, it will literally play in his favor.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because at this point in time, he is the one who's going to be hunted. 7 laps on hard tires with all of them behind on super fresh tires. He'll have to immediately go on a defensive drive. Right from corner 1, he's going to have to deploy to defend. So that is something that he will kind of have to keep in check and pick his battles importantly, critically, to kind of keep his wing clean and to ensure that he is able to kind of get to his pit window without any kerfuffle or incident. So that's something for him to keep an eye out on. Archit out on track, and he's the only guy who's not caught up with his incidents. Let's hope that he has a better second half to the race. He's interestingly taking a very esportsy line. Maybe this could be his fastest lap or first half to the lap that we are able to see. A bit of a spotlight for Mercedes boy here.
Yep.
But yeah, at this point in time, Moto keeping that P1 on the hard tires now. Track also on hard tires. Akasonomane splitting the difference, going on a set of medium tires at this point in time. Faizan in P9 on those hard tires. That's one to look out for. These are the hard runners have, again, you can play the gamble of maybe staying out for the rest of the race on the hard tire. I know the tires will die of death at the end, come the end of the race, but one more VSC, one more safety car, and maybe you can just stay out. It's not as easy to say, depending on the circumstances. We'll have to wait and watch. But yeah, they have an option to play there.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly speaking, at this point, every strategy is a gamble. You don't know which one would work.
Yeah.
So, because none of the tires are going to the end of the race, so yeah, everyone would have to pit one more time for sure. It's just to see, will there be another safety car or not? So, Kapil, would you like to go through the race?
Yes, sir. Moto taking it very nice and slow, and a very hard brake to start. And does he send it? No, it doesn't. Sending him the dummy on the entire field. I'm not sure if there's going to be any contact there. And he finally goes under the Qatar Airways banner. And yeah, lights out. Not a good start for Drac. We've got the likes of King James and Aradhya Gupta looking very feisty right behind him. Aradhya Gupta on those soft tires. So this is going argy-bargy into turn 2, and Drac has to concede there, getting the first victim. SimplyYT as well, simply not able to get underway, and Helium will say thank you for that nap. Chump moves up into P13 there on his set of hard tires.
Yeah, and Faizan making a move on Dark Knight at this point, with Dark Knight trying to... Which car is it on that Aston Martin? Yeah, Red also making a move on Dark Knight, so not really sure what happened to him. And as we see Govind SSR, and was it Archit who collided with him?
Yep, that is our first DNF for the race. You've got not only a front wing but the entire wheel kind of dismembered there. These two have unfortunately been caught up in the incident, and that has brought in the safety car again. So it's been not more than a sector of racing, and we're back to yellow flag condition. So we've got that Aston Martin slowly driving around in turn 4, and yeah, just another breather for these folks. If you were Propi right now, would you pit? Oh, interesting decision there the likes of Destroyer Drac. He's coming into the pits, and so is Satvik ready. Want to get rid of those hard and medium tires. Interesting. Why would they want to get rid of them?
I mean, I don't know. Even if they go on, it's a very confusing strategy. I think they're expecting their hard tires to go to the end, and I would have to say at this point, it's not gonna happen. Hard tires are not lasting more than 15 laps from this stage of the race.
There's
So
an incident at the Aston Martin pit wall. Satvik Reddy going into the pits has caused Catty to be held up there, and that's not fortunate for him. He's going to come up. I'm not sure if he's lost any positions as a result. Wait a minute. Yeah. So all of these folks have gone on to the surf tires, and other than Satvik Reddy and SimplyYT. But what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know what they're expecting at this point because they lost a lot of places and the tire difference, the number of laps, the deck difference would not be high between the 3-lap old tires and the 0-lap old tires because it's gonna average out as the race will pass. So I don't know. I mean, pretty interesting strategy because they'll have to put too much effort as well to go through the field and then get back to their original spot. And again, definitely they'll have to pit. So yeah, I mean, they literally put a race for themselves, and it can prove worthful. It can't, so we never know. But yeah, definitely an interesting mix of strategies out there, and something to really look out for. Who's gonna come out on top?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But soft mediums looking viable for these guys for the rest of the race. A lot of pit stops, but they're, I think, banking on the fact that fresh tires means high grip. It means low lap times, high confidence, and just more a better chance to be making moves at the end of the Grand Prix. SimplyYT is ditching his fresh hard tires for some reason. Maybe he's not happy with his decision, getting a phase of FOMO, if you will. Not happy with his choice looking at the rest of the field, and he's moving on to the medium tires, going the opposite of those folks. So he'll probably be on the soft tires. And oh, interestingly, he's gone on to a set of used medium tires, which is unfortunate, but we'll have to wait and see how his last stint will be, starting all the way back from the last position.
Okay, just one thing to call out there. I'm not sure the safety car will come in on this lap by the end of this lap or not. But if the safety car decides to stay out for one more lap, then what I'm expecting is Simply will go on the hard tires again and will try to use those latest hard tires to maybe try to, pull them or push them to the end of the race and save that one extra stop. Again, it's a very interesting thing to predict what his mind is saying at this point. But yeah, if I was at his stage and I have decided to pit so much, I think that is some kind of a similar thought process that is going in my mind.
Yeah,
A very interesting strategy. I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, you spoke the words right out of my mouth. So many strategies. Like, you have absolutely no way of saying who is in prime position. Maybe we might have another safety car, maybe we may not. So we got people banking on different things at different points in the circuit. All we know is all of them are bunched up together. The safety car is saying, like, you know what, I'm gonna head back in. You guys can get underway racing. So we will go back to green flag racing in just a moment's time. But yeah, what has stayed consistent through all of this is Moto. Still in P1. Aradhya Gupta, right, this time around in P2. Will he be falling victim to the games of Moto? We'll have to wait and watch. So Tanish, take it away with the restart.
Yep, and as we see Moto again going past that last corner slowly and going as close as he can to the start finish line before he starts to accelerate full throttle and get that lead on the driver behind. Aradhya sticking very close. He's not gonna lose out this time. And as Moto goes away with Aradhya sticking very close, everyone getting a decent getaway with the safety car. And only 2 tenths between each driver, somewhere 2 to 3 tenths. And Kakash Sonawane, who is it? Is it Dark Knight trying to get a move on Red? Yes, it is. And he gets the move done. No, he doesn't. Red is sticking in front of Dark Knight. Will he keep his spot there going through turn 3? And yes, no, Red wasn't able to. It's literally going up and down, and I would wait for that battle to settle. And at this point, Moto drops behind Aradhya. Is it the tire deck or what happened to Moto there? I'm not pretty sure.
The soft tires of Aradhya coming in clutch. They're using that superior grip to make that clinical move and move up into P1. He needs to make and bring out that gap as quick as he can. SimplyYT on the other end of the spectrum saying, no, I will not stay behind. I will make my move and chooses Mohan M9 as his first victim. We've got 5 cars in the battle up ahead. You've got the fag end of the field. It's completely stuffed with 2x2 battles there. Satvik Reddy going side by side with Govind SSR, and he pushes him wide. And Catty now using that as an opportunistic move, moves up into P16. Govind SSR simply not able to get his wits about him and drops like a stone all the way down into P18. Mohan unfortunately getting some damage and having to pit at the end of it. But yeah, at the top end of the field, Akash Sonawane finally waking up. He is not able to get the best of starts, but he's stuck close enough to Moto, and right now thinking about challenging him so that both of them don't let Aradhya run away with it.
Definitely, and Akash Sonawane keeping that pressure on Moto with Ritesh trying to fight, and there's a lot of no more Propi losing his car at the exit of turn 2, if I'm not, turn 2. I don't know what happened to him. As we see Simply and Satvik crashing, both of them were on, I think, slightly newer tires, with Satvik on much fresher tires compared to Simply, and I don't know what happened there, but both of them come out worst of this crash. So it's not a good thing from them.
I'm not sure what I saw with my eyes there. Simply having a bit of an erratic movement on track beyond that collision. I do spy with my own eyes something fishy there with those jokers coming into contact and simply using a certain button sequence to get back on track sooner rather than later. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, these two coming together at the end of the second safety car, and now they're also very essentially detached from the field. Having said that, Moto unable to dispatch of Akash Sonawane. Sonawane going down the inside of turn 1. Will he close the door? Yes, he will, and he moves up into P2. Moto with those hard tires will bide his time. He will wait. It will come to him. But as it stands, Akash Sonawane has moved up into P2. So not the best of restarts for Moto at this point in time. King James was one of those hard hitters at the beginning of the season. Now he's also thinking of a move on Moto. We'll have to see whether he can close down that gap, but looking promising for him at this point in time. Oh, further down the field, the Williams boys are so close and simply hounding at Faizan there. I think they're going to take turns at this point in time. It looks to be the Williams way, so to speak. Let one boy attack and then try to keep the door open, and then have both of them go right on through. Faizan at this point in time simply not having any answers, but still making that wonderful Oracle Red Bull as wide as possible. And yeah, you can see the long snake of a train that we have right behind. So if the Faizan train is at the midway of the Grand Prix, well and truly a very big one.
Oh my god, a lot of stuff happening as we see. I think Moto made a move on Akash Sonawane at turn 1, and there's a lot of stuff happening. There was a Williams losing that front end plate, and 4 cars trying to battle for that spot at first corner. I don't know who it was, but Dark Knight being the lead Williams there, with Helium losing down to Lean Skipper. And as we see, he spun after crashing with Sandeep. Oh my god, what happened there? Probably some contact from the end, and Helium has retired, bringing out another safety car with Sandeep losing his front wing. One of the top runners from sprint race has not come out good in the main race. So
Pandemonium here in lap 16. We got 4 people going into turn 1. Destroy track out of nowhere, just diving into turn 1, creating an absolute ruckus. He is definitely someone to look out for. Having said that, you got the long end of the stick there, moving up into P6. Faizan losing 2 positions as a result of it. Dark Knight now the sole remaining Williams as a result of that chaotic crash between Helium and Sandeep Marido. Now, with a little over 13 laps, 14 laps to go, we've got the second wave of everyone pitting essentially and trying to get one cheeky overtake in. But yeah, what is the strategy, ODA Tanish? What do you want to put on for the rest of this?
again, an interesting strategy from drivers to go on softs, which would work, I'm not denying, but I would have gone on the medium tires at this point of race. It's a close one, but medium tires, I know, with safety car probably coming in at end of lap 19 at max. Safety car with the medium tires gonna really come handy as the race will go at the end, maybe somewhere at around lap 28, 27. Yeah, so I would have gone for the medium tires.
Uh-oh. We have a problem here, ladies and gentlemen. The lobby has, well, oh, he's gone ahead of the safety car, and the game is like, nah, bruh, you can't do that. And he's just been disqualified. He's done. He's out of here. He sends to the principal's office, and he is well and truly out of this Grand Prix. I'm not sure if that was a glitch. I'm not sure whether he decided to just overtake that Aston Martin, thinking it was one of the F1 cars that he could overtake. But the stewards are having none of it, and he is out of here.
Some interesting things happening apart from the racing and the strategies itself. So yeah, a lot of things offered by this race already. And right now it would be game on when the safety car will come in. And I think, can we see the tires which everyone is on at this point? And yeah, in the meantime, oh, okay, so no more pro player. Mohan and Satvik Reddy have not fitted, or I don't know if they have fitted on the used tires. I missed that sadly. But yeah, Akash Sonawan and King James on hard tires. So not sure if they really didn't have a new set of medium or soft, or I don't know what their strategy is. But again, interesting thing at this point of the event, and yeah, it's gonna be, it's going close down the end of the race now.
Will the softs be able to make it to the end?
Definitely, softs can make it to the end. There will be some degradation, not denying that. And I'm expecting the soft tires to reach somewhere around 50% as they'll go to lap 29, 50 to 55%. But yeah, it's gonna last to the end of the race. The only thing to note is that the driver who is Catty on medium tires, will he be able to use that soft tire drop off at the end of lap 26 or 27 and gain some positions at the end? That is one of the things I am really looking forward to.
That is the question to be answered. It looks to be this, yeah, him and Proti are those medium runners, but like the entire field opting for soft tires. I think they believe, like you mentioned, that it'll go to the end, and yeah, the hard runners of Akash Sonawan and King James, they're the ones that I'm really interested to see. Will they have the pace come the end? What's going to be their loss in position, if any, in the beginning set of laps? That's all to to be seen, because they're definitely going to be on the back foot right from turn one. And that's the question. Oh no, we've got a drive through for Drac, my boy, what have you done? He's
No,
sending
no,
it! And yeah, having captured that inglorious 1080p, that will not be well received by himself, who is a steward. Yeah,
Ah,
unfortunate there for that coming up.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I can understand his frustration at this point of the race, but it doesn't justify to crash like this. And as we see, safety car is coming in this lap, and field is getting ready to get back to racing again with Aradhya leading in front of Moto this time, and he's already gone, has not waited to move closer to the finish line, he has already gone, giving King James a good chance to attack Akash Sunavane before reaching turn 1. Will he be able to do it? He's going side by side, keeping that outer line, which increases the track radius, but again, make it difficult to get the overtake done. So lot of moves happening with the safety car restart, everyone keeping their spot there with Akash Manohar and King James on hard tires. Good thing is they didn't lose a lot of spots already, so yeah, they're trying to keep or stick with the top two and see how far they can go. With Red who will be trying to attack Akash Manohar and King James on those fresh softs.
Yeah, like it's been half a lap and we've got actually no moves being made at all. Everybody's keeping their own steady in the lap. I mean, they're all on the same tires in only 3 cars. Make that, yeah, 4 cars, sorry. 5 cars. I'm not sure why I'm counting so badly right now on the non-soft tires, on the option tires right now. So they've been able to keep it, but red right now is trying to ask questions. He is looking feisty right now and very close to likes of King James. We'll have to wait and see if he sends one down the inside. A little aggressive on the ERS there, and so is Faizan. Super close to Darky, touches the diffuser and sends one round the outside of Dark Knight. Will he be able to stick it? They're still side by side, but it's gonna be a futile effort trying to hold it around the outside of turn 2 there. Yeah, he'll have to concede. But he is not out of danger yet. The entire pack is going to be coming up against him. Now Lean Sipper is the next one knocking up on Dark Knight's door. Yeah, he's going to have to be doing that for a couple of laps to come, because the superior grip on those soft tires is simply unrelentless. And Dark Knight will have to use interesting line, make that William as thick as possible in an attempt to keep these cars behind.
Catty getting a 3-second penalty, and with the gap being so close, he's gonna drop down massively if he's not able to increase that gap. And yeah, I mean, the field is so close, soft tires are really coming alive at this point with Moto creating a second gap on Akash Punavane and Red, who's trying to get that place from King James, and another driver Extreme who got a penalty. I don't know what is happening at this point. Everyone is trying to push too much, and as you can see, Lindsay are already less than 20% with his battery. Will he be able to get that move done on Dark Knight by the end of lap? And as we see, there's a Aston coming out of nowhere and getting the move done on those 2 cars. Oh boy, that move, what a move that was.
And through goes Catty, an insane stealthy move there to move up into P7, taking 2 cars in one go. Outstanding driving there to make that happen. It just looked cooler than it actually was, but yeah, he is in a good spot to actually bring the fight to the soft drivers right now. King James has lost 1 position right now. Akash Manohar is still holding his own. It's a little over a second gap to the top boys ahead. But now Catty, unfortunately with that 3 second, but he will definitely have the pace with each growing lap. So you definitely keep an eye out on him.
Yep, and I'm not really sure how long Akash Punavane would be able to keep Red behind him with the gap only being 4 tenths. So Red would be really going all around Akash Sonamane to get that place and the podium spot from him crucially. And right now we can see Moto who is charging, I would not say charging, but running behind with 70% battery and DRS wide open. And is trying to get that move done on Aradhya Gupta. Will he be able to get that move done? Going around the outside, giving enough space. Aradhya losing a bit of the rear, losing traction there, and Moto gets the move done and is now in the lead of the race.
Extreme has contact and he's dropped all the way down to the end of the field. Lean Sepper has also been caught out. He lost like 4 positions as a result of it and is defending from Sandeep Muridu right at the thick of it. Oh, unfortunately, he has to concede with that damage. Yeah, which is quite evident in the way he's driving. He's got no front wing. No, Lean Sepper, what's happened? That's a really unfortunate because he was in a great position up until that point.
Okay, just one interesting thing to note is that every time we are going on one of the Haas cars, it's literally both of the Haas cars are running together throughout the race. And as he is simply trying to make a move on Dark Knight, sitting so close to the diffuser and gets the move done. Not sure what really happened. Was it the exit or just Dark Knight allowed simply to get past him and not really wanted a battle or lose too much in that? Not really sure, but it can be a good move to get DRS on the main straight. And right now, as you can see, Aradhya with 4/10 gap behind Moto. It's time for Aradhya to get that move, that exchange that place again. But a bit too far. It's fine. 7 more laps. Let's see what's gonna happen.
But they'll have to keep an eye on those warnings that they're accruing. Going a little bit over the track limits, and you just don't have a lot of references. Everything feels the same. You have sausage curbs, yes, which I don't know how Catty just kept smashing over and still keeping his car about him. But it's very easy to get track warnings on this track, especially when you're just in the zone and not able to kind of change your lines or adapt to the wearing worn out tires that you have underneath. So it's very easy to kind of make mistakes unknowingly and rack up warnings and then essentially penalties. So these two will kind of have to keep a little cautious with little under 7 laps to go. But as of right now, it's looking promising for Aradhya as he keeps very close. He'll have to keep that ERS. It is not the easiest of tracks to maintain it. He's only got what, little under 10% that last lap. So we'll have to wait and see if he can maintain this pace and still, kind of push along more to finally make the move and make it step.
Yep, and as the tires will degrade more, it's gonna be a bit highly difficult to keep that car within the track limits in the final sector, especially where you are going full throttle. You really have to modulate that throttle to make sure that you are able to take the corners in best possible way and not lose a lot of time on the degraded tires. And as we see, no more pro player is trying to attack Ritesh, and yeah, not best races from him, but still trying to gain back as much as he can, because it's clear in IRC that the points is for top 15 drivers, so everything is there to gain for. So nothing to lose around here, just drive as much as you can. Show the utmost priority, I would say, as a driver is to finish a race, which again I forget myself sometimes. So yeah, but finishing a race is much more crucial than winning it, I would say. So that's how it goes for me.
Yeah, number pro player having not the most favorable of circumstances during this Grand Prix. He did lose a couple of positions, get caught up in a couple of incidents, and his strategy was not exactly in line with the rest of them, which kind of put him in the defensive foot right there. But having said that, he used medium tires right now, will definitely be coming into their element, and he's going to be making those moves one by one with those 6 laps to go. Victim number 1, Ritesh. And yeah, he's moved up into P11 with Sandeep right up ahead. We'll see how quickly he can make the inroads and move up higher and higher at the grid.
Yeah, and as we see, it's 25 laps done, or I would say the lap 25 running, and there are again at this point, you and Red is in contention for a race, and in case one of the top two drivers get a penalty, so a lot of things is going to happen as we proceed at the end of the race. And the one good thing to note is that Akash and King James have kept their spots and or not lost a lot of positions compared to what they were on before putting to hard tires. So I think that's some decent showing from them on those slower tire compounds. Not sure how long they'll keep that place with Catty attacking them. But again, another thing to note is Catty is running with 3-second time penalty. So no matter if he overtakes, he's gonna have to create that gap. And as we see Akash Sonawane getting that move on soft runner Red and getting it done. Are we seeing a soft drop off at this point with Catty also trying to get a move done and gets it done on King James? Yep.
Catty's defense is aggressive drive and the closing end of the Grand Prix is well and truly in full swing. He's moved up into P5 from P10 and he's looking in fantastic position right now to maybe even get the the podium position, but that 3 second is something that's going to be haunting him at the end of the Grand Prix. But he'll have to ignore that for now and just put in some stellar lap time, get a position or two more, and who knows, somebody might crack under pressure and he might actually keep that position.
Definitely, anything is possible even in this final 4 laps, I would say. And as we see, literally, if we know the top two in the battle of their own, and looking at drivers on P3 to P6, there's a different battle, literally like clusters of battles happening on track with every cluster having 2-3 drivers. So definitely it's very interesting. You never know who's gonna finish it on top at this point.
Yep, well, the battle for the lead, however, is something that cannot be guessed at this point in time because you've got both of them just harvesting the areas and they've just got some insane pace. They're dragging each other along away from this attacking pack. Red and Akash Sonawane, because of their dueling, have gone into the red zone in terms of their ERS, and Catty is not that far behind, just slightly dipping out of it. But Catty with those medium tires is right now in the best spot to make those moves. Can he make them cleanly? Can he make them in the same fashion as he did on the duo of, I believe it was Lean Zipper and I missed the other driver, but yeah, that double overtake was, can he replicate that with 3 laps to go? We'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, this pack is unfortunately not making any inroads to the top 2, so the win might very well be out of contention for these drivers, and very well might be a dogfight. Oh, and it slid into the second last corner there. Catty pushing his Aston Martin with everything that he's got, with everything that the tire can give him, moving into the last 2 laps of the Grand Prix. Akash Sonawane is sending it down the inside one more time. He's still not flashing, so maybe there's some hope for him. Oh, he's locked his rears up. Catty with his aggressive driving style, and King James is knocking up his door, thinking about a move with those hard tires finally coming up to clutch there. Will he be able to make a move? That's also the question to be asked there. So you've got some nice battles lined up here with 2 laps to go.
Yup, and I think it's time for everyone as we see King James losing the car at the exit of turn 6. Oh my god, that's a very tricky corner. It's understandable with the tires degrading as well. And Aradhya looks like he has made some mistake. Moto has created over a second gap on him in this final stage of the race. I don't think Aradhya will be able to get back to Moto unless Moto makes a mistake or gets a penalty. Is it race done for Aradhya?
That is the worst time to be cracking under the pressure. He had set it up so beautifully. His ERS was intact, higher than Moto. He was so close. He could have pounced. He could have pounced. But now Moto has well and truly checked out. He's increased that gap to 2.2 seconds, and yeah, he is out of here. Having said that, Catty has made another double overtake. Well, not necessarily double, but yeah, moved up into P4 on track with the final lap of the Qatar Grand Prix. He's finally flashing. Akasono on his tires are right now in the prime spot, so unlikely that he'll be losing the position. But yeah, what a turn of events there for Catty there. He's had a fantastic drive to move up all the way to P4. Will King James, with those superior hard tires, finally get some redemption on Red, who's been hounding him throughout the last hit? Will he be able to get one back and move up into P5 or P4? Oh no! You've got SimplyYT, who's had a puncture in the final lap of the Grand Prix. Unheard of scenes there. He's dropped like a stone. And Aradhya Gupta as well has another puncture. You've got two punctures in the last lap. I'm not sure if you've got something on the track, but you've got two cars down and out. I'm not sure what's going on right now. But Akash Onowani right now in P2, Catty in P3 and Red on P4. King James is super close to him. Well, nothing has changed for Moto there, but oh boy, Aradhya Gupta will be kicking himself, and he's also disqualified from the session to make matters worse. Catty is super close, but unfortunately not able to make the move. King James moved into P3 and Red in P4, just narrowly missing out on that P4 position. Oh boy, what has happened here? Crazy scenes come the end of the race. You've got these two guys, Simply and Satvik Reddy as well. Three cars with punctures. How many laps have they done on those soft tires? It was just 13 laps, and no, 11 laps. Incredible scenes there. Incredible scenes.
Oh
wow.
My god, I mean, I don't really know what to say at this point. I expected the tires to go to the end, but not really sure if Aradhya and other drivers pushed too much, or how did Moto manage to keep that pace and finish the race on the soft tires. But some exciting or more of like interesting stuff happening at the end of the race with people getting punctures there. Literally replicating that real life thing where I think drivers were getting those sudden punctures as the race was going somewhere halfway through the event in 2021.
Well, that that was the curveball here, ladies and gentlemen. Tires dying of death at the last lap of the Qatar Grand Prix. Catty finishing in P5, King James P4. You've got Akason in P2. Oh man, he was down in the ditches in the safety car restart, but was somehow able to scrape through. Yeah, what a finish! What a finish!
Oh my god, I mean, who expected King James to jump from that P6 spot to a podium spot from this place? I mean, seriously, some interesting stuff happening on that final lap. Literally, I don't even think drivers expected things like that to happen. Like, I have seen drivers who pushed their soft tires to somewhere around 13 laps in practice races, and here the tires just gave up at the end of lap 11 for a few of them. I mean, I don't really know what happened there, but yeah, that is some unfortunate thing for those drivers.
Synchronized tire wear outs is not something that I see often, but today we witnessed something unique here in IRC with three cars in the final lap losing out. Well, their front tires, one of their front tires. So unlucky scenes for them. They did take the gamble by going on those soft tires, so it did not pay out for them. But yeah, that is racing for you at the end of the day. Tire management is one key aspect to look out for in F1, and today was one prime reason on why not to ignore that crucial factor.
Yeah, I mean, again, It's like I think medium would have proved to be a better thing at that point. What do you say about that in the
Uh,
final safety car?
Hindsight is a very powerful factor indeed, but you can't fault them for taking the gamble.
Yep.
It could have very well been a case of monkey see, monkey do. You never know. But yeah, you win some, you lose some. And in this case, three of our finest drivers did bite the bullet. Well, we will have a boys hop in for a quick little chat in a moment's time. We'll see. We'll get their reactions on how their teammates suffered through it. But yeah, um, let's just take a moment to soak in what's just transpired. That was
Yep.
certainly an interesting Grand Prix at the very least.
I think there was literally no point where we could catch a breather to just calm ourselves down and see the battle settling on track. It was literally happening everywhere. There was literally no place where you could see, okay, the track has settled down. There's not a lot of stuff happening, which we say in a lot of races sometimes.
Mm, yeah. um, well, not to cool down a little too much, we've got podium boys, we got winners here. Don't believe Akasonani will be able to join us, but yeah, we'll wait and see if he can. But yeah, until then, let's kind of get underway with our interviews. King James, are you with us, mate?
Yep, I'm here. Hey, what's up?
Hey, hey, how was your race, chap? Was a brave decision for you to go on the hard tires when like everyone around you went on the softs. I think it paid out for you very well at the end. Like how was the last few laps? You know, having to make those key overtakes to get up into P3. Walk us through that.
I think I was in that dilemma situation of softs or hards, and I was thinking of softs, but then I was wondering would that even last because I took the softs for the sprint, and by the last lap they were pretty much dead, like not just in like drivable state, but like even reaching the puncture territory. So I was doubting that whether it will last for the remaining 12 laps. So on the side of caution, I guess I went for hards. Then, looking at everyone else, I was like, oh no, that's probably the wrong decision. But yeah, played out pretty well. Had a really good battle, I think, with Catty and Red as well. And I saw that Catty had a penalty. Would like to, would have liked to overtake, stayed ahead of him on track, but then realized that, maybe both of us could have, maybe Red and I, maybe we can jump Catty, because of penalty. So played it a little bit smart, I would say, from my side. Making sure I don't overtake Red also by the at the last lap, so that I can get that last burst of DRS. And yeah, it turned out to be the slightest of margins, but yeah, it turned out good for me.
Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. You've I'm just having a look at the standings right now. You're in P2, kind of remain in P2 there with Moto on. Unfortunately for you, extending the gap. He's
Yeah.
had a dominant set of races, but at least it's been fruitful for you to kind of extend the gap to the likes of Iceman and Red, sorry, Simply and Red behind you. So kind of going into the second half of the season, the tracks that are coming up, how do you find yourself? Like, do you feel like you're gonna be able to bring down that gap, bring the fight to Moto, or is this the brighter half of your season?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like Moto is in another league, to be very honest, but he's driving really well, and hopefully I can put in some performances so that it doesn't become like our current live F1 championship. So, but yeah, definitely. I hope put in the practice, and I'm sure the results should at least come. So yeah, looking forward to it, definitely.
Well said, well said. Thank you, King James. Moving on to Moto. Right, how was the race for you? You had good company for a better part of the Grand Prix, and then he just headed out come the last lap? Were you expecting that? I mean, he did make a mistake that did give you some breathing room, but how wary of you? How did you manage the race?
Yeah, that was a pretty clean race. Just one warning, all in all. Yeah, so I'll just start from qualifying. Lap was subpar, but still good enough for P2. I was P15 after sector one. So no clue how I got back 13 positions in two sectors, but yeah, no clue about that. Sprint was fine. I think I had a bit of an overspeed on Aradhya somehow, and his tires started dying out quite early. So I just capitalized on that and got it done. The race, it just kept throwing everything. The main race just kept throwing everything at me to ruin it. I mean, all the safety cars were in horrible timing, and I was debating pitting for softs in the last one. I mean, skeptical with the tire wear, how heavy it is, that if the softs will even last till the end. Well, they did, and yeah, I got the move done on Aradhya. It was a very like a surprising move for me because I was not planning on making that move at all. But then I just saw the overspeed I had and just hung it around the outside, broke really late, and yeah, made it around the outside. And yeah, I tried to get that move done quickly after. I mean, I always thought I'll get the move done quickly, but never that moment because dirtier actually increases the tire wear as well. So I didn't want that. And then from there on, it was just a case of managing, just driving smoothly, not working the tires too much, but not giving Aradhya any chances to sniff and overtake. But yeah, then his tires sort of fell off by the end of it, and yeah, it was just plain sailing from there. Yeah, but very very clean race. So all in all, I think one of the most uneventful. Well, not the most uneventful, but one of the most cleanest races I've had so far. Yeah,
That's always good. Can't complain about that, can you?
yeah.
Alrighty, well, you are firmly at the top step. Helium has just had his fair share of luck or skill. I'm not sure how you would put it. Kind of leaving you in a fantastic spot at this point in time to kind of take the championship. How are you perceiving, the rest of the season to go?
What? I didn't get that.
What do you think about the second half of the season? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling iffy?
Oh yeah, completely. I think I was planning on just taking it a bit, not as try hardy, uh,
Hmm.
but anything can happen in racing. It usually does. I've had my fair share of bad luck as well with disconnects and all, and that can happen anytime. But it was important winning this one. Just increasing the gap a bit, and it's allowed me to relax a bit. So yeah, I can go a bit easier into the latter stage of the season, and yeah, it's been fun so far. Good racing all in all. Started off very badly. I got a quali ban into the third race, which is probably an IRC record, which even Faizan doesn't hold. So yeah, I've usurped him on that. But yeah, I think things smoothened out after that, and it's looking good. Yeah.
Good stuff. Tanish, anything else that you want to ask our lovely podium winners today?
I mean, I can only congratulate at this point to both of the drivers who are present with us at this point. Again, congratulations to you, Moto, as well as King James. No questions from me, from my end. It was just pretty clear from the race whatever was happening between these guys. Amazing show from both of them. So yeah, really happy. No questions.
Alrighty then. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your time and congratulations again. And yeah, that pretty much sums up our coverage for the weekend. We hope all of you had a great time, kind of joining us for this point in time. Join us again for next week where we continue our season coverage. Until then, stay safe. See you around. Bye bye.
Bye.
Adios.